Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast, Stacy Personally Speaking, where my thoughts become known. This is Season 1, Episode 170 of the Journey 365 series. Today's episode is about Mittelschmerz, blue light glasses, and camping mashup. I turned off the 6:30 alarm this morning and stayed in bed for another 15 minutes. Before the alarm, however, I had gotten up much earlier and used the bathroom. I really need to stop drinking liquid so close to bedtime. I felt off in my body, besides being tired, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I had my devotions and realized that in times like these, I needed the comfort of my Heavenly Father. And so I read, "I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you," in John 14, verse 18 of the King James Version. I was praying and crying for many things and people around the world, and I know God will come through. After my devotions, I thought about exercising but never got to it, oddly enough. It's like once I get up and out of my room, the chances of me exercising reduces significantly. And the fact that I was feeling strange in my body didn't help at all. This strange feeling happens every month, but I don't recall looking it up until later today. It turns out that my lower abdominal pain is a part of the ovulation process, called Mittelschmerz specifically. So annoying. I tuned into Radio Jamaica while making my smoothie. I filled the blender too much, and that caused me to take a much longer time to make the smoothie. And so I had to pour some out, and I did that a couple times to ensure it was evenly blended. Then I poured out some of that for a smoothie slush later on. It was Friday, and that meant I had a lesson online. This would be my second time. I have to constantly check my schedule to ensure I'm not missing anything. And you best believe that has gotten to me now. The class was only an hour and 40 minutes, a reduction from the usual 2 hours with this company. The class was okay, but not great, as I was feeling so off. After the class, I wasn't sure what to do. There had been so many changes for today that now I just felt in limbo. There had been a 1 o'clock engagement which had been brought forward to Wednesday. The original departure time of 2:30 in the afternoon for camping had switched to 5:45 and now completely cancelled. But I didn't know it was cancelled yet at that time, earlier today. And so the new time in my head was 5:45 p.m. But that was tied to how my friend was feeling and the progression of the weather, which was not looking good. I remembered sometime yesterday that I had quinoa. Yes, that small grain that can be eaten, cooked and eaten. Out of sight, out of mind, for real. I can't believe I was struggling for so many days about what to eat, and I had the quinoa tucked away under the cupboard. I decided I'd have it as a cereal cooked in coconut milk with ripe bananas. I wasn't concentrating at all. I used too much coconut milk and too much honey. Nevertheless, I sat down to lunch and enjoyed the change. I started watching a movie but abandoned it halfway to practice Japanese kanji on my phone for about 30 or more minutes. I have become increasingly more aware of the amount of time I'm spending in front of screens. I don't think I have thought about it as much as I should. When my student came online today, he was doing the lesson from home as opposed to from work. The first thing I noticed was that he was wearing glasses, and he advised that they were glasses to protect his eyes from the blue glare of the computer screen. When he's at work, he just wears contact lenses. So I hadn't noticed any glasses last week. And it dawned on me that I have never worn glasses or gotten any kind of protective sheet or screen for my computer, especially in light of the more recent high usage since 2018 when I did 2 years of online studying. So after the class ended, I went on YouTube and did some research and then went on Amazon to look on some eyewear. And let me tell you, the prices were a big turnoff for me. Now, I haven't given up on it, but now it's something I have to plan and budget for because I don't see my computer and screen time decreasing anytime soon, and my eyes have been feeling more and more heavy. And since I don't want to be using any eye drops from the drugstore, I need to put some measures in place. In my almost 40 years, and I give God thanks for this, I've never had to wear glasses. And it's not that I need glasses now for seeing purposes, but for protection purposes. I found out today that my Thursday company class, which has been canceled for the past 5 weeks, will now be going online. This means increased exposure to this invisible blue light that I can't see. After lunch, sometime around 2 o'clock, I went into the kitchen and sliced up the pumpkin for the camping trip. It was something recommended to me that would make a good food item to toss on the grill. Of course, there was still some amount of uncertainty with whether or not we were going anywhere, but I still tried to prepare a little. The only things I did not touch were the frozen items and the cold items which I left in the refrigerator. It was almost 3 p.m. by this time, and I just wanted to lay down, and so I did. I played a few rounds of backgammon on my phone, before attempting to sleep. Even though I tried to sleep until 4 o'clock, I was alert the whole time. Maybe it was because I used my phone just before closing my eyes, or because my lower abdominal area, especially the right side, was so uncomfortable. In any event, I believe my body still benefited from just laying down and my eyes being closed. The alarm went off and I reluctantly got up and messaged my friend. I needed to know whether we were going or what the consensus would be. I learned that the side effects from her vaccination were a bit intense, and on top of that, the weather for the entire weekend was looking quite sour. We agreed that it would be better to cancel and be on the safe side than to take the risk to be out in the rains. I still hope I will be able to have this camping experience one day. Once I realized that we weren't going camping, I had to deal with the fact that once again, I had no idea what I was going to have for dinner. I had sent away my potatoes in the bag last night, but fortunately I had kept my fruits. I still had a small portion of quinoa left on the stove top, along with the smoothie slush. That was dinner, if I can call it that. Throughout the day, I kept massaging my tummy area for some relief. Once I did get some relief, I'd do bits here and there in my apartment. Like I finally folded the sheets that had been sitting in the chair by the window. It took me some time, however, to put them away, even after folding them. I also put away some loose clothing and added a few more items of clothing to my backpack, which became really heavy with the addition of fruits. I managed to record yesterday's blog audio as well. There was one more thing that I'd wanted to do for a couple months now, and I finally did it. I grinded the dried rosemary to a powder-like consistency for my cooking. Yay! This is what I've been using instead of thyme herb. What a day today turned out to be. But in everything, I give thanks, especially for the chocolate treats. It was supposed to be for the trip, but I figured I could have a small piece. Thank you for journeying with me on today's entry. I hope you enjoyed it. Please support me by leaving a comment below or sharing this with someone you think might enjoy the journey. Remember to follow my blog at stacypersonallyspeaking.wordpress.com, where you can read the blog for yourself right in your inbox. Thank you so much for joining me today, and God bless you. Bye-bye.